Welcome to the OctoberCast of InPsight Radio with your host, Danielle Egnew.
Yeah, you guys, I'm a giant cheese ball. Welcome! Yay, it's October! It's October! You know, I love spooky season. I get really into spooky season, you guys, like big time. And I love it because it's kind of our last chance to really embrace the spooky, scary, the death of the leaves. The world is going into a quiet place as all of the sap drains down through the trees into the ground. I mean, it's a whole thing, right? And I love it. And one thing I really love about it is the fact that it's really a door that closes on a great deal of transition seasonally. And I love the physics of Halloween so much. You know, there's a reason, and I know I say this every single podcast, every time we do a Halloween podcast, here's me saying the same thing, but you really only need to listen to it once a year. So I love you guys. I love the fact that the ethers, you know, where all of our spirit life comes in and talks to us and does all the things, the ethers are legitimately thinner this time of year, and our ancient peoples knew this. They knew it. They knew that it was thinner. They knew that there was all kinds of really cool stuff kind of hanging in and going on right about this time of year. And there's a reason for it. It's because, and ethers, what are ethers? Well, ethers are, I like to call them the vortexes or the etheric doorways between dimensions, right? So we've got these etheric doorways between dimensions. And because of the way that our planet tips, and it does tip a particular direction, you know, it tips away. We're in the northern hemisphere right now. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, we are tipped away from the sun. And it's just in this time frame, you know, the sun's starting to be up in the sky for less time every minute of every day. So what we're getting is the way that the Earth actually tips in space and its proximity to the sun really does pull on the magnetosphere and the ionosphere and the electromagnetic index of the planet Earth. And when we pull on those indexes, imagine taking a fishnet and having all your friends grab a corner and you open it all the way up. So instead of getting little tiny squished together looking diamonds in the net, the diamonds are all poofy and big and they almost look like squares, you know, they're just huge. That's what happens to our vortex structure on the Earth. Because you guys got to remember, the Earth is a giant spinning electromagnet, okay? So there's a ton of physics that go into hauntings. There's a ton of physics and quantum physics, actually, that breaks down and goes into the metaphysical universe. And I love this because I'm a giant quantum physics nerd. I'm a giant physics nerd. In fact, I enjoy the quantum more than I do just traditional physics. And traditional physics is wonderful. But it's really, you know, traditional physics is somewhat of a cookbook for the universe, the third dimension as we know it. Quantum physics are the study of the infinitesimal and things, you know, particles and light. All wave matter behaves differently at a teensy tiny quantum level. It's kind of its own universe out there. And I'm a little more comfortable in alternaverses just because I spend so much time there with my work. So Halloween, you guys, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Halloween is all about these great big vortex doorways, just like that fishnet we talked about earlier, being stretched wide open because of the angle of the Earth and the proximity of the Earth to the sun. We're just in a sweet spot where we kind of pull wide open those etheric doors between dimensions. Again, it's 1,000%, 1,000,000% quantum and regular physics issue as opposed to a spiritual issue, but then it lends itself to a spiritual issue, right? Because then we've got all the little ghosties hanging around and things that go bump in the night. And I particularly love this time of year because my sister-in-law and my bestie, Melissa Scianna, who we do all kinds of projects together. I always say I rope Melissa into doing all sorts of things because she's incredibly brilliant and she's also up for lots of stuff. She's a crazy Aquarius. So she's just like, okay, let's do it. But she's also just so much fun to do projects with, And I'm really fortunate, you guys, being an Italian person, I love having my friends and family around me, especially when we're doing fantastic projects. And one of the things I love about that is those are folks that you just know from the inside out, and you can completely count on them, And I'm very lucky that I come from a family where that dynamic is present. So anyway, Bestie Melissa and I are putting on this year, like we do every year, well, except for COVID, the Haunted Bridger Ghost Experience, and this is so much fun. And I know I talk about it every year, but we've got one night that's sold out of 4 tours. And as a matter of fact, it's coming up this weekend. I'm so excited. Today is, what is today? The 25th. It is October 25th. So I've been compiling parts of this podcast on and off through October, and I'm kind of mushing them all together here and finally getting a chance to get it recorded. And one of the things I love is recording this podcast right before the season, because the ethers do change and I get an opportunity to see some incredible spirit life. And in our Haunted Bridger event, it's actually a ghost encounter, and I don't say a ghost hunt because we're not hunting the ghosts. I can see them. I know where they are. So I also am a relatively polite human being. And so speaking to the spirit life is a lot of fun. We have an opportunity to speak with the spirits and they speak back. And if you are a paranormal investigator, there's a popular, I guess, sensationalized, really ineffective tool, if you want to call it that people use during ghost hunts. And that's called provoking. And if you ever watch any of these ghost hunting shows, the provoking aspect, you guys, isn't going to get you jack. And I'll tell you why. I mean, how often have you gone into a bar and if somebody starts screaming in your face, do you sit there and actually just stay there and let them scream at you? Or do you get up and do you move away? I mean, if they continue screaming at you around the bar, you're eventually going to, I don't know, throw a drink in their face. I don't know what. But most people would just leave if somebody's acting up. Spirit life is the same way, you guys. If you go in to do a paranormal investigation somewhere, and I've been doing this for, 30 years? I don't know. Officially for the last 20 maybe. But if you're going to yell at ghosts, they're going to leave. But just having a normal conversation about the spirit and, if they can tell us a little more about themselves or why they're there. First of all, if you can see the spirit, they're pretty thrilled. Usually they're like, oh my God, hi, ah, like finding the only other person who speaks English, in the middle of Antarctica. I don't know, just like, oh my God, this is so good to see you, blah. So one of the things that I can tell you there is that if you're going to be a paranormal investigator, be kind, be courteous, talk to your spirit friends as if they were in a body. And this whole provoking thing, you guys, there's a lot of paranormal television, and I know you guys have heard me talk about this for years and years on this podcast, but there's a lot of it that means well, and there's also a lot of it that's just pretty not very good. And there are people out there on these shows that actually have a really profound desire to educate people on the paranormal. And there's just a bunch of people thinking they can make a quick buck and let's scream and yell at the ghosts and act like an idiot. And I mean, that's just so ridiculous. So when we go to Bridger, me and Melissa, we take people to encounter spirit life so that they can actually have that experience of what does it feel like when a ghost's in the room? What does it feel like when a spirit comes by and touches you on the arm or says something behind your back or might pass on an emotion to you, a big emotion. A lot of ghosts, you guys, communicate through our electromagnetic net called the brain. And why do they do this? Well, they do it because it's an easy way for them to communicate, to trigger the synapses and electromagnetism that's already existing in our mind, to release chemicals to give us emotional, cues. So most of the time on our Haunted Bridger events, the people who get the most out of the ghost hunts, it's not really a hunt, but the ghost encounter, are the empaths. They are the empaths. And it's so much fun for me to look around and have these empaths all like jacked up, man, because they're like, oh, I can feel this chick. And she's giving me these emotions of how much she misses her husband or her children or whatever. And it's always fascinating to me when we have a group and we go down into a basement or wherever, an attic or wherever we're at. It's always fascinating to me when I talk about a spirit coming in to watch, and I won't even tell the group what's going on emotionally with the spirit yet, but I'll just wait to see who tishes up, who tears up. And a lot of times people are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm crying. This is so weird. And then I'll say, well, this spirit is very sad. She misses her husband. She's lost. And I try to tell those spirits oftentimes, you know what? You got to find the light. You got to go into the light, blah. But a lot of times they're on their own lesson. And I don't want to say they're stuck, but they're on their own lesson path, kind of wandering around where they're at. Sometimes they listen to me and cross over, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes they're just so spun up and their angels are trying to get them to cross over because, yes, ghosts still have angels, you guys. They're still a human spirit. So their angels are hanging out, and I'm trying to talk to their angels and be like, hey, can you get Jane into the light? And the angel has been like, I've been trying to do that since 1842. What do you think I'm doing over here? Picking my nose with my wing. So, it gets, it gets really weird when you're dealing with the angels of that belong to people's spirit. So, it's interesting, too, to go on these with Melissa. And Melissa's in Bridger today. I'm in the studio in Billings. And Melissa's out getting prepared, actually. She's out at, oh my God, you know what? Let's just bomb her for just a second. Let's just call her up. I know this isn't super professional, I guess, but let's just call her and see what she's doing. Because she's actually supposed to be in our location right now, and she's supposed to be prepping it. And, a lot of times we have to prep the locations because they're very old and decrepit, very haunted. Bridger is an outback Old West town here in Montana. And so she's oftentimes she lives there. And so trying to get down there to make sure that it's safe enough for people to walk around. We do have to have a safe space, even though folks have to sign waivers before they go on the ghost tour. But let's call her. Let's just photo. Let me see. Hold on. We're just going to call her up here. I'm going to put the phone by the microphone here. I'm such a jerk. Oh my God.
Hey.
Hey, what are you doing?
Well, I walked over to one of our Haunted Bridger Ghost Experience locations, and I just wanted to check it out to see, if there's cobwebs hanging around, and I wanted to clear all the spiders away for you.
Oh, thanks,
what
man.
Are you doing?
Well, you are... Don't kill me. You're actually live on my podcast right now on the phone.
Well, cool. Hey, everybody.
Well, and I was hoping, because I knew you were heading over to the location. I wasn't sure if you were there, actually. But I am super excited that you're over there because usually you and I do a podcast together around Halloween, right? And so...
I'm sad I missed that.
I know. And I kind of feel like a schmuck because you're down there with the spiders and I'm sitting in this cozy studio right now. So, sorry, man. I owe you a shot of something good.
I'll take it.
All right. So let me ask you this, though. Okay, so dude, you're down. are you okay? You're clearing the cobwebs away, so I think I don't want to give away the location, but I think I know what location you're at. And
Well, I'm actually just getting ready to go downstairs.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I was just telling everybody on the podcast about, why the ether's thin this time of year and all kinds of things. So can you feel, and if you don't feel anything, that's cool. You don't have to act like you're feeling something if you're not. But do you feel any energy over there? And the reason I'm asking, you're standing up or wherever you were at in that building. We had our first snow today, right?
Oh.
And,
Yes.
the snow amplifies it's water, spirit activity. So I'm just curious if you happen to be feeling anything in that building right now.
It's interesting. And this building has kind of a creepy main level and a creepy lower level. So I'm just on the main level now, but I'm going to head down the stairs while I've got you on the phone here. But yes. So, and you can feel like a heaviness in here. And as I walk through this creepy main level, we'll call it, as I get to the back of it, there's definitely some kind of, I don't know if it's a vortex. I don't know what to call it, but there's a space over here that actually makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh,
so yay!
Well,
That's awesome, right?
I'm sorry about that, but that is awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's
So
awesome.
I'm excited to go downstairs and get away from it. So.
Okay, so I was just telling everybody that we had to prep the downstairs a little bit, like hoping to put in a railing and stuff like that. Because it's like, how would you describe that staircase downstairs to folks?
Oh, well, it's a trap door. So, and the trap door is already open. But as I'm going down the stairs right now, there's like 10 stairs and a landing, and then 4 more stairs. But it really does feel like you are descending into, visual darkness, but also sort of emotional darkness.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I thought about it. And it's important for folks to remember, especially, people who've never been in a setting like this, like those trap door. If you guys don't know what a floor trap door basement is, they put them in a lot of historical buildings back in the day because you didn't just have a staircase downstairs. They literally are like a hatch, right, Melissa? Like a hatch in the door that lifts up.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that they used to store stuff, maybe use it as kind of a cold cellar, store alcohol. We had one location that we have been to in the past where they actually used it to store bodies after there had been a sickness. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's colder. The temperature's consistently 50, 55.
Yeah, it's cold. And it's not one of those I think the place we're going, over time they've finished the basement floor, but you can still see where there's the old dirt and the original old sandstone that they placed down in the foundation. And and if you, as you go down those stairs, the thing that's weird is there's 4 or 5 more little stairs that you have to go down, in that little area. And when I was there, because we had to go check it out to make sure it was safe for people,
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I'm kind of sad you're there by yourself because it was a little creepy. There's a lot of spirits in that building.
It is a little creepy. And the ladies are upstairs. So I mean, the actual human ladies
Right.
are upstairs. So I'm not that scared. I don't know that I probably, if it were just like me alone in this building, I probably wouldn't want to go downstairs. That's too scary.
Yeah, that's a little nasty. Well, and when we came down the stairs in this particular setting, there's a great big, I want to say steel old door on the first level of this landing when you're going downstairs.
Yeah. Yes.
And that thing, is it still covered? Did you leave all the creepy spider webs on that thing?
Yeah, and there's some writing and stuff on it too. Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah. And that's a weird thing. I mean, it will be fun to have you there to maybe help us figure out what that door goes to.
Oh.
Because it feels like it should be underground. It feels like it's underground. I don't know.
Well, it would be because it's down. You go down the stairs and there's a landing out there.
Yeah, because I'm descending into the earth as I walk down the stairs. Yeah.
Well, so, it's interesting, you guys. So when Melissa and I went to this exact creepy location and checked it out the first time, one of the things that, we just took some pictures. And one of the pictures, and I was just up on the landing. I had a cell phone. I was trying to figure out what the writing was. I felt a big presence on the landing, which is why I went down to it. And that's why I wondered how you felt going around there.
Sort of like a masculine presence, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I went down there, and as I went up with my flashlight, a lot of times spirit life doesn't like bright lights, not because it's a light, but you guys have to remember that light is particle matter. It's moving through the air. It's not just shining. It's actually vibrating and moving particles through the air. And especially when you have these LED lights, they are really dense. So the dense LED lights feel like a little mild electrical shock to a lot of these spirits. So as I was coming up the landings, all I had was my stupid phone. This is why, we provide flashlights, for our tour. And I think they're still LED lights, but we have everybody turn them off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was going up those stairs, Melissa, you just took a picture of me kind of like by the door. But you guys, we got a picture of the male spirit. He kind of ditched around and went behind the wall. And he's in this picture. There's a thing in this basement that's non-human. It's an elemental being.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Now. That kind of stuff freaks me out.
Sorry, man. I kind of forgot you're down there by yourself. That is an asshat move. I'm sorry. So basically, there is an inhuman down there, and it's not a demon, but it's an elemental being. And you got, Melissa, a picture of this thing, you guys, and you can see its eyes right through the stairs, and it's big and it's black, and you can see its eyes. And then on the stairs, which is really weird, there's like this misty, it almost looks like a ghost dog, like a little dog that's sitting on the steps. And so I was just wondering, when you went, the steps are very active. There's a couple of other active spaces. But can you do me a big favor while you're down there?
Yes.
Okay. Are you down there now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll wait to see what you're asking me to do before I say yes.
Okay. This is fair. Okay. So can you go mid, because you're down in the basement now.
Yep.
Can you go mid basement, and you're going to see on your left over there, they tried to build some retaining wall thing, but there's 2 or 3 feet behind that's the old foundation. You got to kind of go deep into the basement, but as you go around there, can you go poke your head around there? And I mean, it's kind of hard to get in there because all the floorboards are disintegrating over there, but you should see a funny little shaft that kind of goes up. I think it went outside at one time. Can you see that?
Yeah, there's a doorway, an actual door here.
Oh.
And then behind the door, there's a room.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. Just like a little room, which I feel like that space would actually not be under a building. I feel like that space is under the parking area or something weird like that.
Is there a way we can get in that? I remember there being a lot of earth in front of that. Or is that not
it's very messy. So I don't know if I can get that now, but it might take some clearing out.
Okay, we have to see if we can get in there, because what I want you to do, if you're willing, you don't have to crawl back there, because actually it's pretty gnarly. We'd need to kind of clean that up a little bit for folks to go back there. But will you do me a favor, and will you just, there is a being that is coming and going from that area down into the basement.
It's so weird that you say that, because it definitely, to me, feel that doorway, even the first day that we were in there and now, feels like a space that people go in and out of. Like people are going in and out of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a vortex spot.
I don't know what being you're speaking of, but yes.
Well,
I feel the activity right there.
It's I was feeling a male that was coming in and out of there, and I was
a human.
Yeah, like a former human.
Yeah.
And I was feeling women coming in and out of there. So I think we got some hot poker and hooker action there.
I bet that's true. Yeah.
From down in the day. But it's just, it's this very active place down there. So when you're there, if you look back towards the staircase with the weird landing and all those cobwebs, can you turn off your light?
Oh, man.
Please. Yeah. I'll give you 2 shots of something. Can you you'll have the glow of your phone down there, but can you turn off your flashlight? I'm assuming you have a flashlight, because we couldn't find the switch when we were down there. Okay.
And I do have flashlights for everyone that goes on this.
You're awesome.
Sure, yeah.
So just turn it off and just sit there a minute and look towards that staircase. And just tell me what you feel, and I want to see if you can see the eyeballs with your eyes, or if that's just something that came out of on the actual picture. Sorry to do this to you by yourself, but go for it.
Well, I do see it. Like I can see. I don't know if it's eyeballs, but there's a little movement over there, right on that, like if I look through the stairs at the landing, I can see just like a little glowing movement that could totally be eyeballs. I don't know. And I can also hear some shuffling over there.
Oh, God, you are being remarkably calm for that. You're creeping me out.
Dude, what can scare me? Honestly, I've done all this stuff. I'm not that scared. It's fine.
Oh, my God.
The ladies upstairs can hear me scream if anything happens, but I'm turning on my light now.
Okay. Well, you are an absolute trooper, gal. Okay, one more question. Okay. And we were talking, like, was it this morning or yesterday or something? And you said you had so many questions about why areas were haunted. And go ahead. Do you have any that you would?
I have 2 questions. One thing, I was just thinking about this when you were talking about the light being kind of disturbing to the entities that could be down there. And you know what's one interesting thing about this particular location? And I don't think we've ever had a location like this before, where there is no power in the basement.
Oh, wow.
None. There's no power. So I wonder if do you think that would enhance the activity? Now, of course, we'll have flashlights, people will have phones, but we'll have to ask everyone to shut all these things off. And then it's just going to be dead, nothing, like no energy down there, you know? Do you think that'll have an effect on it?
I absolutely do, because here's the deal. I mean, if you the more electricity you have, the more you disturb the filaments of spirit life, because they too are electricity. So if you have competing electrical currents downstairs or wherever, they're at, that's really going to suck for the ghosts. Even if you don't turn the lights on, just because it's not on, you still have residual AC and DC current, right, in the walls.
Yeah. And I don't think we have anything like that down there. I mean, there once was electricity down there, but I don't think there has been any running through there in years.
Oh,
So, yeah.
this is going to be so spooky. Well,
I
and
know.
go ahead.
So I have another question too.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So my other question is, and I think of this every year and like we've never actually talked about it, is basically, why do we go in the basement? Why are there more ghosts in the basement? And I know that this is true because even in the house that I live in, we have like weird activity in our basement, which, by the way, I hate going in. So
yeah, your basement's a little creepy, dude, at your house.
No kidding. I'm always afraid somebody's going to push me down the stairs. Anyways, why basements? What's going on in basements that makes all the ghosts want to be in there?
Honestly, what's going on is that for most basements, especially in the older basements that are dirt floor or dirt sides, those basements literally have some really, really intense earth energies that come through. Also groundwater, and sometimes a concrete foundation will lock out more spirit life. Sometimes it amplifies it because if you have a lot of crystalline content in your concrete mix, you basically have a bunch of little teeny weeny radio antennas that are in your concrete. So that poofs up, everything. So basements tend to be places where a spirit life will hang out, Melissa, because there's less people, especially basements that aren't traversed. The basement that you're talking about that we're going to. It's just a big, empty, weird, old, they do have some concrete on the floor. There are a few areas that have been plastered or concreted, but you can also see where there's open dirt. So if you're in a basement, right. So if you're in a basement, you have less EMF from the surface. And people are like, well, your cell phone still works in a basement. Does it really as well, though? Think about it. I mean, I'm down here. No, it doesn't. And I'm down here in my basement, where the studio is. And if I need to do, like right now, I was like, please hold while I call Melissa, because my phone doesn't always work down here, and we've got a concreted in basement. So where we're going, and in answer to your question, a lot of it has to do with earth energies, geomagnetism, groundwater. You're digging into the ground. And when you dig into the ground 6 to 9 feet down, we don't think that's very far down. That's really far down. You're going down. You can see different eras of geology. You go 9 feet down and you're looking at maybe a volcano that blew up at some point or whatever.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And then a lot of the basements here, where in Bridger, have our sandstone foundation, not even concrete, and also dirt floors, like you said. So it's all of it's kind of natural.
Yes,
but maybe it's conducting. It's very close. I don't know. It feels like you're in the earth when you're down there.
Well, you are in the earth. And the thing of it is, if you really want to go to a haunted basement, go to a dungeon in a castle that's made of limestone. Limestone is made of it's a composite. It's a composite stone. And it's made of teensy, weensy little crystalline contents. I mean, all rock technically is, but I mean, if you look at limestone, sometimes it's shiny. A lot of times arrowheads are made out of limestone, aren't they? A lot of them, or chert or whatever that stuff is.
I don't know.
Because it's like, I mean, if you go, okay, so the reason I'm asking Melissa this, you guys, is out in Bridger are the Prior Mountains outside of Bridger. And that's very sacred area for the Crow Nation. The Apsaluka people. And so the Crow have been there for 20,000 years, 30,000 years, and there's arrowheads all over the place. And the arrowheads, a lot of times they're made out of, right? They're made out of limestone or...
Yes, I'm just thinking this through because I was just reading about also, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. Go.
I do that.
You're good. You're good.
I was reading about crystals because you know me, I'm a treasure hunter. I just like to go out and find stuff. And I was reading about crystals and geodes and how the parent rock that things like that are found in is limestone.
Okay. There you go.
And that is indeed what we have around here, yeah.
Yeah. And so if you really want to go to the most haunted basement ever, it would have a dirt floor, limestone walls. It would amplify everything that's down there. When I was in Scotland, you have these big castles. A lot of them are made of granite. Some of them are limestone, depending on where they were at. And limestone's a little more porous, but it's still pretty hard. It's not like sandstone. And a lot of the sandstone foundations in Bridger are wearing out. So you've got these sandstone, is again, it lets moisture through. And so you've got all this water in the basement. Even if it's locking out water, technically, I mean, it's a porous stone. So that's one of the reasons I think some of the basements in Bridger are so incredibly haunted. Plus, at Bridger, there's just a big vortex layer. There's a big ley line section there, and I think it has to do with Big Pryor Mountain. Big Pryor Mountain.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So,
I think so too.
Before I let you go, let us describe to everybody, since you're there, you're over there, describe to folks how the Pryors, and this is important, you guys, because before I got you on the phone, Melissa, I was telling everybody about the geophysical attributes of hauntings, like why during this time of year the ethers are more thin, and how not to yell at ghosts to provoke them. I mean, there are geophysical attributes that add to hauntings. And the way that the Pryors were created, it's funny. They have like a slopey side on one side and a really steep side on the other, like you just pitched up the dirt under them, is different than, they're a very different looking mountain range than, say, the Beartooths and whatever. But tell everybody some of the things you can find in the Pryors that I believe very much affects that ley line kind of river energy that flows down to Bridger.
I think the Pryors, the number of magical things of all different types is incredible in this Pryor. So there's coveted Bear Canyon agates there that avid rock collectors. I mean, it's like this precious thing that if you have one, it's very special and they're expensive. And those are in the Beartooths in the Pryors, along with all kinds of other amazing, like pink and purple agates and cherts with crystals in them. It's amazing. But there's also all kinds of fossils and cool stuff. I mean, for a treasure hunter, it's just the best place to go and look around. The place is covered. The lowlands, the flatter lowlands, are just covered in teepee rings. You can just see them, and you can feel the energy of the people and the families that live there when you're walking through the teepee rings. Also in the Pryors are plants that don't grow anywhere else, like very unique plants. And over the years, new ones are discovered just because it's kind of this isolated ecosystem. It's kind of isolated. It's these two mountains that kind of just sit out there, not near any other mountains. So everything there is kind of unique compared to, everywhere else.
Well, and the Pryors too, that's cool. I didn't know about the plant life. That's really cool. And the other thing, and the thing that people might want to know is the Pryors also in World War II, that's where they went to go mine uranium.
That's true. Yeah.
And so there's a lot of uranium mines that are not, I don't think they're active anymore. There might be some that are, but I don't think they're active. Yet you're not supposed to remove the fossils because the fossils sit out there. They're on this highly charged radioactive. After a while, the fossils can be radioactive from being out there so long.
Those are the dinosaur bones, which is another thing that the Pryors has that I didn't mention. Yeah, you're not supposed to take the dinosaur bones anyways. But also they are, they selectively absorb uranium. So they are kind of radioactive. And do you remember, I've heard people tell stories, and I think you were there once, when somebody was telling this story about we go camping there all the time, and I haven't seen this yet, but about if you're in certain places in the dark, like near where they mine uranium, that you can at night see the rocks glow.
Yes. Who was telling us that? Was that
It was
Nathan?
Roy. It was Roy.
It was
I think.
Roy. Okay.
Maybe it was Nathan. I don't know.
So my cousin Nathan goes out there a lot. My friend Roy Pack goes out there a lot and was raised out there. So it's true. I have heard that from a number of people that the ground will glow. And also the thing about that's a big thing about the Pryors is that there is a ton, and I do mean a ton of UFOs that come and go from the Pryors.
Yeah. Yeah. And here too. I mean, I can see the Pryors out my window. Not today because it's snowing, but at night, a lot of times you can see streaks through the sky, like activity over the Pryor Mountains.
Oh my God. And you and me. Okay. So Melissa's wife is named Sarah. And my wife, as you guys know, her name is Rebecca. And Sarah and Rebecca are sisters, which I know sounds like its own TV show. But
no weird comments, yes.
Yeah, I know. It sounds weird. But anyway, so we were camping out in the foothills of the Pryors. There's these side canyons out there, you guys, that are just freaking amazing. And it's not like KOA camping, though, you guys. I mean, there's biting flies. It's probably 112 degrees. You have to go at certain times of the year, otherwise it'll just eat your lunch. But we were out there and we all saw it. UFOs right above us, and we were getting some really great footage. And Melissa, you're like, that one just appeared. It just appeared. That was awesome.
Yeah. And that's like not all that uncommon.
No, it's not.
It's just a very magical place.
It is
every aspect.
It really, really is. And it's not for the faint of heart. And real nature isn't.
Right.
So we're talking about uranium. We're talking about crystalline content. We're talking part of the Pryors. They kind of bleed down to the bighorns. Is that correct? Do they connect or not?
I don't think they technically connect, but I mean, if you're standing on the south end of the Pryors, the bighorns are right there on the other side of Bighorn Canyon.
See, and that's it. So the Bighorn Mountains, you guys, that's where the medicine wheel is. A very sacred place for the Crow Nation. The medicine wheel is prehistoric. I used to go up there and stand in the middle of it as a little kid. My grandma would be like, don't touch anything. And I wouldn't. You could feel the power. Now it's got a fence around it because people were stealing stuff out of there.
You can walk around it now.
Oh, can you?
You can. Yep. I was just up there recently. Yeah, you can walk around it now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it was fenced off for a while. People were stealing out of it.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very sacred spot. And they have traced spokes. And it's just a wheel, you guys. It's like a wheel made of spokes up on top of this mountain. And it's way high. And if you trace certain, I guess you could say, spokes and keep going, they point to other medicine wheels. There's other medicine wheels in the bighorns. And they point dead to the other medicine wheels. They point to other ley lines. They point to other vortex points. And so if you're in the Pryors, you're also next to Bighorn Canyon, which is a 72 mile long dammed up lake. Like imagine damming up, the the giant canyon in Colorado, Grand Canyon.
Yes.
My God, where'd my brain go on vacation? Oh, man. So pretty much there's a lot of energy that come through the Pryors. And there's a lot of side canyons, and there's a lot of elemental life and little people, they're called, and these fae and elemental Bigfoot and all kinds of things you don't want to mess with up there. They'll end you. They're not, you don't disrespect them.
Definitely. No.
Yeah. They'll end you.
Bring gifts. Yeah.
Always. Marshmallows, moon pies, licorice, whatever you got, bring gifts. So this is all right by Bridger. And and then Bridger also carries a lot of energy up from Wyoming and is it Clark's Fork Canyon down there?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty wild. And what river goes through that?
The Clark's Fork of the Yellowstone.
Okay. So the Clark's Fork of the Yellowstone carves through this big thing, this majestic canyon, which is amazing, just over the Montana-Wyoming border. So you guys, Bridger has a ton of nature energy. It has a ton of UFO energy. It has a ton of paranormal energy, and it's not creepy. It's you really just need to be in union with it. How would you put it, Melissa?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything about any of it that's dangerous. And it's a combination of different energies, including off-worlder energy that we just talked about, including ghosts and, historical energy, signature energy, which I see all the time around my house, all the way to an elemental energy. So it's like a combination of all these things. None of it is scary, but too scary, but it requires respect.
Yes.
And it's just kind of like learning to live with other beings, that maybe we can't always see.
Well, see, and that's one of the reasons that I absolutely love Bridger out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a magical place. And like much of Montana, if you're raised in Montana, I mean, and Melissa, you're an honorary Montana, but you are from Connecticut, and you were raised out in the middle of the big elemental Salem witch forests out there. God, what was that movie years? My brain is not working. What was that movie years ago? Blair Witch.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it is like the Blair Witch there, although I really, it's not that nasty. The Blair Witch was pretty awful.
No, the Blair Witch was scary.
I was raised in a part of Connecticut that's called the Last Green Corridor. And it's a place that runs from Massachusetts to Connecticut. It's huge. And it's so undeveloped that at night from a satellite, when you look at the East Coast is all lit up, except for the part of it that I was blessed to grow up in is completely dark.
Wow. So you basically, I just felt it was important to tell everybody that, Melissa, because what I'm going to say has to do with that. And
I'm trying not to digress and talk about my place.
No. You're super good. No. I'm just tying back to why I was bringing it up, right?
Thank you.
Is that, no, your place is cool. Is that if you're going to live, especially if you're born in Montana, if you're raised in Montana, which I was, Melissa, you came out here in your super early 20s is when you came. Okay. Yeah. So you've spent a majority of your adult life, more of your life has been out here than anywhere else.
Yes.
And so that makes you an honorary Montanan. And so, honestly, if you're going to be out here in Montana, you really do have to be one with the wildness and with the mysticism and very, very much with spirit life, ley lines. I mean, we're right on the edge of Wyoming. We're right by Yellowstone down there. I mean, if you keep going, you can get to Yellowstone through Cody. So, I mean, we've got a lot of energy in Montana. And they call it and they call it the treasure state. And it's because we have ridiculous amounts of gold, silver, copper, oil, natural gas, uranium, palladium. We have all of this stuff in this state. And so if you think about all those precious metals, what does that do, you guys? Precious metals conduct electromagnetic energy. So we've got we've got garnet mines, we've got sapphire mines. I mean, we've got so much in the state called the treasure state for a reason. But that also bears to it a big responsibility in my mind, Melissa, and maybe you've got a different opinion on this, but I think it bears a big responsibility to be in cohabitation with nature, because if you're not, you're going to be frightened by the ghosts and the elementals and the UFOs and everything else that utilizes these natural earth energies. And that's why I referenced where you were from on the East Coast, because a lot of people can't hack it out there, man. It's spooky for a lot of people.
It's so spooky, and that's probably a whole nother podcast, but yes.
So
especially Connecticut. Connecticut is particularly spooky.
And that's where you're from, right?
Yeah, yes.
So, you guys, Melissa, I should probably let you go because you're probably freezing your butt off in that basement. But
I've made my way up the stairs.
Okay, good. Okay, because I'm just like, dude, it's freezing down there. That's another.
Close the trap door.
Okay. And remind me before we do our thing, that we've got to also make sure that the trap door is propped open. We got to nail something across there. It's big. So it doesn't come, or the spirit life doesn't pass. It's not a little trap door, you guys. It's got to be like 4 foot by 8 foot. It's big and it's heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy. So we don't want to get trapped under the trap door because that would super suck. So remind me about that before we start.
Okay.
Well, anyway, thank you so much. I know this is a tiny bit uncool, but I really appreciate.
No, you're so welcome.
God, I appreciate you, just talking to folks and explaining where you are, because the one thing I can say about our event is that people do actually encounter real spirits,
Mm-hmm.
and also, can I just brag up your mulled wine recipe for just 5 seconds? So you guys, one of my big, I love this, and Melissa came up with this idea, is people gather. Melissa has a space that she's getting ready to let go of down there, but she has an office currently down there. So we all meet there, and Melissa was like, what we ought to do is hot cider and mulled wine for everybody. And, we're just giving it away. We're not making people buy it. It's part of your ticket. But it's complimentary mulled wine or hot cider for people who don't care for alcohol. But if I can and I know I'm going to embarrass you, Melissa, but Melissa, you guys, is also an amazing cook and a phenomenal herbalist and horticulturist. And she's, of course, from the spooky East Coast. So she mixes these incredible mulled wine recipes that she puts together. They're her own recipes. Spices, and you also sell them, which I think is super smart because they're really good. These little bags of them or whatever. So, yeah, I think you guys ought to hit Melissa up if you ever want to. I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you ever want to purchase via mail some of her mulled wine recipes, they're little bag. How would you describe them? They're bags of good stuff. Yeah,
they're just like a bag of spices, little bag that you just dump into a crock pot of cider or wine and heat it up and just makes your house smell amazing and makes your wine or cider taste good. And it all the herbs and stuff floating around the air of your space actually bring the energy up in your space. So it's perfect for the middle of winter, Halloween, when it's kind of spooky and people are scared. They come back and have this drink and enter this space where the energy is, a bit higher.
Yeah, and
less scary.
It's true, you guys. And I mean, as the person who's the psychic on the ghost tour, there's a lot of focus that tends to be on me. However, Melissa and I are a team in how we do this, because she gets the space where we gather all prepped. And there's reasons that she makes the mulled wine, besides it's really good. But, it's so yummy. And she puts honey in there. And oh my God, it's so good. And I don't have it till after the tour because I'm working. But it's still really good. And so I do appreciate, Melissa, very much that you are very cognitive. You're also a big intuitive yourself. So you're very cognitive of, what's going on with our group. And a lot of the histories of everything. So if somebody wanted to buy a bag or a few bags of your mulled wine spices or any of the other, you have amazing other herbs, oils, sprays. You have all kinds of stuff, actually, for this time of year to bring the energy up. Where would people find you to do that?
Well, I have a website that has a little web store on it. It's vintageapothecaryshop.com. I'm honestly not sure if I have the mulled cider spices on that website or not right now, though. So if anybody wants any, just shoot me a text and I will mail some to you. And you can text me at 406-850-3287.
There you go. And you guys can figure out Venmo or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I am so flexible. Oh, my.
In another life, that would have been another occupation. So I think that, honestly, though, you guys, I'm just proud of my family. I'm proud of what they bring to the table. I'm proud of the things that they make. I'm an Italian. I'm proud of the gifts and talents of all the people around me. So, Melissa, I will let you go, doll. You've been so awesome. And you've hung on till almost the entire end of the podcast. I was just going to call you for like 5 or 10 minutes, and here we are, just visiting.
I am happy to talk about my places anytime. So thank you for letting me do that today.
Well, absolutely. Thank you for answering the phone. I'm literally, this could have been a bomb. I could have called you. And a bunch of like, well, it's ringing, nothing's happening. Oh, wow. She's that's her voicemail. Thank you for answering. So before I let you go, why don't you tell people, why don't you tell them where they can find, we just have a handful of tickets remaining. One night's already sold out of 4 tours on the 27th and 28th. But where can they find all this info?
So the other stuff, the tickets happen to be on Danielle's website, your website, and it's DanielleEgnew-advisor.com.
That's correct, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Yes. And it's under haunted events, you guys, and it's also on the front page there, but it's under haunted events.
Yeah. You should just be able to go right to that page. If you Google Danielle, y'all probably already know this, but you'll be able to find her page that way too.
Yep.
So
true story. You can also, you guys, you can hit up Melissa's page. Okay, Vintage Apothecary Shop is her page. Facebook, man.
Yes.
Melissa Scianna.
My name is Scianna.
Or you can hit my page up, you guys, Danielle Egnew or Danielle Egnew Psychic Medium. But like I said, by the time this podcast goes live, we might not even have any tickets left. But if you want to go, or you can read more about the event, you can buy tickets to 4 different tours there. Mm-hmm. We have a 7 to 9 tour and then a 10 to midnight tour. So you can pick up tickets there. And I guess that's kind of it, Melissa. I will let you go.
I say that this event is so much fun. We've been doing it for a few years now. And not only is it all the things that we've just talked about, but it is also a really great opportunity to spend some time with you because you are so much fun. Aww. And you make this whole thing, it's the greatest experience. So I really recommend it.
Aw, thank you. Aw. So, well, and it is fun. You guys, you do not, and it can be scary and creepy. And was it last year we had one of our attendees got so flipped out that she went next door and had some shots because to the bar. She got a little freaked out.
You have like one girl, she comes every year, but she gets pinched and touched and talked to and all the things and scared, and she comes back every year because she loves it so much.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's Sarah. Yes. She comes every a different Sarah than Melissa's Sarah, different Sarah.
Not my Sarah.
Yeah, but she comes every year, and it's wonderful to have her because she's very open about what she's feeling. And when you have people in a ghost group who are open to saying like, oh my God, you guys, I just got touched. And then all of a sudden you hear like 3 or 4 other people going, me too. Oh my God, I didn't want to say anything. Yeah. So it's always nice to have people who are comfortable with those paranormal experiences,
Yes.
So, and one quick question, is it still snowing in Bridger right now?
No, it is not. It really hasn't snowed much today here. This is the banana belt of Montana, so it's always a little bit nicer here than everywhere else.
Well, that's true. It was snowing here earlier. It was coming down.
I think by Friday, it's going to be fine. By Friday, everything will be cleaned off. It'll be a little chilly, but, it's Halloween.
It's
October. It's always a little chilly on Halloween.
Well, and that's the thing. Just dress warm, you guys. If you are going to come on the Ghost Experience, dress warm because also when you have a lot of paranormal activity, when you have a lot of ghost activity, it's cold. It makes the room colder. So not only is it October in Montana, and unlike the set of Yellowstone, where it never snows and it's always a balmy 70 degrees.
It's cold.
Yeah, Montana will spank your butt and hang out to dry weather-wise up here. It's intense.
Yes.
So wear something warm, you guys, even though we're not going to be outside. How far do you say we're going to walk, Melissa?
We'll probably walk a grand total of 2.5 blocks.
Yeah. Yep.
Not far. This year, not far at all. We made everybody walk pretty far last year. It was worth it. But this year, it's not very far at all. So
No.
if you have a hard time getting around, we do have to go up and down some kind of scary stairs. But if you don't want to walk very far, this is probably a great year to come.
Yeah, absolutely. We are sticking up on Main Street, and one of our locations has never, ever been officially investigated before, even though it's a known haunted location in Bridger.
Yes. So we know that there's a lot of activity here because the people that work here have had experiences. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I'm very excited about some of the ladies in the building that I'm hoping will come from downstairs. I hope they come downstairs. And I'll just add this as a fun little cliffhanger. This particular building has a complicating factor paranormally. Whenever you take a structure and you alter its actual innate structure, like you change it, like you knock walls out or you do something to it, it agitates the spirit life. In this particular place, the top floor of this building has been completely sealed off. So
weird.
It is really weird. And that has agitated some of the spirits that are up there. So obviously spirits aren't stuck in a sealed off place. They can still use a ghostly staircase, even if it doesn't exist for us anymore. However, I think it'll be fascinating to talk to those ladies that are upstairs who used to be what, Melissa? What kind of work did they do?
They used to be ladies of the night.
Yes.
So, yeah. I am so excited about that.
Me too.
That's
It's
the unique and super fun thing about this spot.
It is. It's a very charged spot. And then the second spot we're going to, it's been years since we've been there. There's been changes there, and it's a very active spot as well. So thank you, Melissa, for coming
You are
on.
welcome.
And
I see some of you this weekend.
Same. I hope we see some of you too this weekend, you
I
guys.
don't see you.
Well,
but
yeah,
yes.
you'll be sick of me by the fourth tour. You'll be like, oh my God, go home to Rebecca. Go home. So, Melissa, I'm just going to keep you on the phone here, and we're just going to roll right out. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to the
October spooky episode of InPsight Radio.
Join us down for our Haunted Bridger event this weekend on the 27th and 28th. Get those tickets if there's any left at DanielleEgnew-advisor.com. Search up Haunted Tours, and hopefully we'll see you guys this weekend. And until then, say goodbye, Melissa.
Goodbye, everybody.
We'll see you next podcast.